We're live. Yay. We're live at Lake Siskiyou. Look at this beautiful day, and look at my beautiful sister Valerie is here. It's so good to be here with you, sister.
To be here in real life.
Yes, it is.
Not zooming.
Not zooming. We're not zooming. So if you're watching us out there live or on a replay, let us know you're here. And let us know what you think of when I talk about practicing with portals. When I told Valerie that I'm having a Mount Shasta Sacred Sites retreat, and a huge amount of what we do is practice with portals, Valerie said, that's what I do. And so I thought it would be really fun to get Valerie to come on and tell us, and we'll both share what our experience is with practicing with portals. Hi, Angel. Thanks for dropping in. It's nice to see you. So I'm really curious, Valerie, to hear from you when you say, I practice with portals. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I love the question, and I also want to know your answer, by the way. I want to say two types of portals. What I call portals in time and portals in location. And in the end, they're always the same. They're a portal, a door into another dimension. But the portals of location are portals of places, like Mount Shasta has so many, Sedona has so many sacred sites have them. Maybe all over the world there are locations where you can access the divine, where you can access the other dimensions, and you can access spirit world at many levels. And the practice of portals of space or location, I approach it that way. But the practice of portals in times, the way I experience them is that the portals in time have different frequencies depending upon what is that time door. Like the time door we just came through on 555 on the 5th of May of this year was a super powerful portal door. And so that one had the characteristics of being in Taurus, of the new moon that was happening right after that portal in Taurus, about grounding, about the ability to really materialize whatever we set the intentions for through that portal within the rest of this year. So portals in time, the solstice is a portal in time. There are different portals in time, 1111, you know, these. Yeah. So it's a different kind of approach. The way I work with the portals in time is about the messages that are coming through specific for that portal in time, and the portals of place have to do with the frequency of that place. So I work with the land, and I work with the divas of what is in that land, and approaching the work based on what is the gift of that land. That makes sense.
Yeah, I love that definition. I fully agree with you. And because you asked, I have to say the portals in place, like here in Mount Shasta area, you can't see Mount Shasta here because it's on the other side of the lake behind the hills. But here in this area, it is a vortex of energy. And so that is actually the main thing I'm thinking of when I think of a portal is an energy vortex. And so this can be, an energy vortex can be the way that a location moves the energy through it or around it.
Yeah, I use that word vortex too when I'm referring to places.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then the vortex can be the way the energy moves through time, like you talked about. On different times, the energy is moving in a certain way. And everyone also has this vortex of energy that we are. You are a vortex of energy in human form.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think of when I think of practicing with portals is to really connect my personal energy with the energy of the earth, with the energy of the heavens, and to consciously experience the way that energy combines to create the special vortex that is in my heart.
I was going to say that we forgot to mention, or I forgot to mention, the portal of our own transformation, which is the heart portal. And we have the yoni portal and the heart portal. I mean, it's not like we have just one portal, but
that's true. Yeah, that's true. And I focus on the heart portal because it's a very easily accessible one, but each one of the energy chakras can be
a portal,
an access into a portal. And so portal, the word portal means door. So it's
gateway,
like gateway,
big
right?
door, big door, big port.
Yes,
portal.
Yes, exactly. And so I'd love to hear from some of you out there, whether you're here with us live or on the replay, if you have an experience with opening a portal into another dimension, what that is like for you. How do you experience it? And also, if you have any questions for us, we'd love to share our experience. And Angel says heart portal connections all together. Yes, the heart portal connects us. And so when we connect our heart energy, which when I'm standing this close to Valerie, I can just feel, our heart energy goes out 10 feet. And so we're, yes, and further, but the physical measurable energy is actually extending 10 feet out. So when we stand within each other's heart field, we create a portal by unifying our heart energy. And so there's so much available. I'm curious to hear for you, what is available in practicing with portals?
It's so funny. I was going to say something about that. So I was going to say, you may know or not know, but I teach an energy healing method called the Crystalline Soma Healing Method. And the beginning of the healing method, I teach the portal of the heart. And the first thing that one does after one does a sequence of things to create the sacred space to begin the healing is allowing the healing to come through you, by the way. You're not the one that does the healing, but just to be specific, what I teach is to open our heart portal and to expand our portal so that we encompass the person we're going to heal. And by doing that, it's like we literally, with every breath, we expand and we expand and we expand, being conscious of the expansion. And then we're conscious of creating like a nurturing blanket around the person with our own heart, so that we can be so in tune with that person that whatever the healing is needing, we know, because we're informed directly through the most purest portal, which is the heart.
Oh, yeah.
So that, for example, is what, and that practice can be extended beyond the healing method, where I teach my students to use it to wrap the house, the town, the country, the earth, because your heart portal has the characteristic that can expand to infinity.
Oh, yes.
That's the characteristic of the heart portal, not the other portals, but the heart portal can do that. And so,
I love that.
Going to share that.
I love that. I love that so much. And yeah, that resonates so strongly. I could feel as you were describing it.
Because I was doing it, right?
Yes, I could totally feel it. And I think before we wrap up this video, we should do a little bit more of that work together, because it's so important for the planet, for the planetary healing. I'm also curious, from your experience, Valerie, what is available here in Mount Shasta, connecting to the vortexes and portals of Mount Shasta?
You want to know location specific with names, or you want to know generic? What is it that you're asking?
When you come here, in your experience, what is available for you, or what might be available to another who comes here to Mount Shasta?
So actually what I'm going to say is it applies also to when I go to Sedona, specifically what I'm going to say. So Mount Shasta and Sedona, I experience the same kind of thing. What I experience is several things. First, that the whole area has a heightened, or helps me be at a heightened level of just by being in that area. And so much so that the first couple of nights, it's so heightened that I struggle sleeping because my whole system is being hyper awakened in a way. Then these locations have so many different vortexes, right? And when I visit these different vortexes, and here you have, I don't know, Panther Meadow is so sacred. It's almost like you're literally touching a different, like you can touch it, how different it is when you enter it.
Yes.
In the mountain, in many different places as you walk the mountain, and the falls and the lake, and I mean, there's all over. Just like in Sedona, it's more like you go to this vortex or this vortex. They're like very identified. Here is they're all over in nature.
Yes.
And the third thing is that I find here in particular, more than in Sedona, that the connection I can have with nature is so powerful. Like there's an open communication continuously. Not only when I'm out of the door of the house and in nature. It's so powerful. And therefore I work with nature. I've been doing this since I've come here, and I'm here thankfully 3 more weeks. Just doing a lot of healing for myself even.
Yeah.
So that then I can bring this to others.
Yes, yes. And that's such an important piece when you're a healer, that you reconnect yourself again and again, and really fill up your own cup. Exactly. And there's another aspect of this working with sacred site energy portals that I'm curious of your experience.
But tell me if there's anything else that you would add to my answer.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this right now, because I first started working with portals myself when I was in Hawaii. I was on this beautiful land on the east coast of the big island of Hawaii, and this land had 7 waterfalls, or it has 7 waterfalls, and I started seeing the portals. And so if you've ever seen a portal, I'm sure you have, Valerie, but I'm also talking to the audience out there. If you've ever seen a portal, it looks kind of like a heat wave, kind of like a little bit of a bending in the air between you and the physical object. And so the first time I started seeing these portals, there was one around a tree, there was one around the waterfall, and I hadn't actually seen them before. I knew they existed, but I was going through the portals through my breath practice. And for me, when you connect your physical body with these physical energy sites on the planet, what you expressed was such a beautiful way. It's a deeper level of connection. And I wanted to ask you if for you, like for me, there's a connection to knowing yourself in a new way.
Absolutely. It's and I call it knowing with capital K. It's that knowing of that ancient wisdom that is within us, but that has been laying dormant because of the history of the feminine wound. Just to say it in few words. I could speak hours about that. That's part of what I'm doing in my teachings too right now, because I'm very called to that healing. But that is within each and every one of us. So portals and nature and these kind of energetic sites help us do a quantum leap there in that awakening, in that knowing, in that connection to that knowing, and that remembering something that we know deep within, but we kind of we know it's there. We cannot quite put it into words. And then suddenly clarity comes. It's like bubbles that come up from the bottom of a glass, and you're like, it's that's what that was, right? And you kind of know it in like, if I speak to you, listener, or to you, right? But you're in the journey too, and I tell you something, and you're like, I know that what she's saying is truth. I cannot quite say it myself yet. Like I don't know it in a way that I can repeat it, But as I'm listening to what you're saying,
Mhm.
what you're telling me is vibrating with me, resonating with me, awakening stirrings in me. Something is happening with me
Yeah.
because you're speaking that truth, or because you're sending that transmission, right? As a healer, as a leader, spiritual leader or guide.
Yeah.
And so these portals, these places, nature help me come more into myself so that I can be a bigger vessel of love and light.
Yeah.
Because that is the journey as a spiritual leader, is to be a bigger vessel, to help and guide more and pour more love and be more of a channel. That's really it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think of it as expanding to be able to hold more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And as you were talking, I was thinking about another aspect of portal practice, which is connecting to those who have come before. So when we're here on the sacred lands of Mount Shasta and we are connecting with the land, it's important to really be aware of those who came to honor the sacred sites throughout the ages. And when we engage in practices such as Qigong, breath work, yoga, meditation, we have behind us the lineages that have been practicing through the ages that we can honor and bring forward. And so this is a really important piece of the portals as well. Those who have come before, those who have practiced in this location right here, those who have practiced the type of practices that we're bringing through when we are doing our personal practice or when we're leading groups. And so I invite you out there who are watching this to drop into those lineages that you are carrying forward, or the lineages that maybe you're connecting to by connecting with me or connecting with Valerie, or by connecting to the land that you live on, or the land where you go to visit the trees, or where you take
and
your walks.
Specifically calling them in, calling in those elders, calling in those ancient, that ancient wisdom, those souls that came before you, like specifically calling them in.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And when you do, my experience when I do has been that they are so present, so grateful to have the opportunity to continue to transmit healing through our awareness, through our presence.
And we heal them too, as we do that, by the way.
I'm just checking in with the comments here. Angel says, I see portals like warm heat air or a circle on the ground like a vortex. And she's speaking of the solar plexus portal, which I think is a really, really good one to call in. So thank you, Angel, for acknowledging that solar plexus portal and the way that our energy, I think of the solar plexus. I'd love to hear how you think of the solar plexus as well, Valerie. I often really feel the solar plexus as my connection between my heart and my spiritual energy and my physical grounding energy. And even though the heart is where I was saying I bring together the heaven and the earth energy, the solar plexus is where I ground it in. And it's also this vortex of expansion that comes out. Sometimes it's hard to put words to these experiences.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I had never heard that. I was trying to feel into what you were saying. For me, the solar plexus, the way I experience it is the space from where we shine bright, right?
Yeah.
Our sun, who we are, and it's the center of our personal power, which is so misunderstood and so misused and so abused both ways, by feeling inferior or by feeling superior, by overpowering, by underpowering and being victim. And when we are centered and aligned with the heart, which is, I think, the piece you were bringing in, then that's when we can expand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when we take the fire, because there's the fire in the heart, and when we take that fire and
the solar plexus, which is a different kind of fire,
and turn it over to shine, it's like turning the light around to shine on what needs to be illuminated.
Yeah.
And it really does activate a power. And I love that reminder that we are abusing our personal power by feeling unworthy, just as much as we are abusing our personal power if we overpower others.
Right.
Yeah, that is so important to remember and to recognize that for you to choose to see yourself as worthy. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. They get a different view now.
This is real life. Real life live.
Real life live. Yes, this is so much fun. So I'd love to hear, before we wrap this up, if anyone has any questions for myself or Valerie. Linda Love, hello. Beautiful Lemurian tree connected soul fam. Yes.
Yes, totally. Yes, you got it.
Yes, we are. And here in the purview of Mount Shasta, there is a very strong Lemurian connection. And that's what I was feeling today earlier when I did my portal practice, or when I was planning what I thought I was going to do. It was really about the Lemurians. And I have had personal visions and connections with this city of Talos that they say is in the center of Mount Shasta, the council members that are there. And the presence of these ethereal beings who come and communicate with us telepathically is also a way to open the portals of your personal transformation. And so thank you for bringing that in as well, Linda. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Valerie?
I am super happy to have had this conversation. Yeah, that's it, really. It's amazing. We're here with our feet inside the lake, by the way. You cannot see, but our feet are in the water.
We're splashing our toes in the lake, in the water.
We're earthing. Yeah. I'm going to play it with my phone.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah, we can give you a quick view here as well for those of you that are with us live. Feet in the water. So I hope that you who are witnessing us today are really receiving permission to follow your heart. This is the most important portal that you can open, is the portal of your heart, and to follow that guidance that comes from within. And if you witness, Valerie just traveled from Italy to come here. She was traveling to Argentina to visit her mother. And when she shares with me the way that she follows her heart and allows that guidance to be the guiding light in her life, that to me is what it's all about. So I really invite you to follow your heart. And if your heart is calling you to come here to Mount Shasta, there is an opportunity coming right up in June, and there will be more, but follow that guidance. If you're feeling guided to join virtually or to come here live, that's because your soul has something that is needed in that connection to Mount Shasta. So listen to that guidance from your heart. That's what I would like to leave you with today, to really connect with your heart. And I think earlier I said that we were going to do a little heart healing with all of you. And before closing,
yeah.
And so let's do that now. And I'm going to invite you, Valerie. I'm going to drop us into our heart, and then I'm going to invite you as you're guided to bring through whatever needs to come through in the moment. So I invite you out there to drop into your heart. Breathe into your heart, and as you exhale, send a connection like a root dropping down from your heart into the earth. Take a couple of breaths into that connection, breathing from the earth to your heart, from your heart to the earth. Feeling how your roots reach down and spread out and connect with our roots and with the roots of all in our soul family, all life on the planet. And then with your next breath, continue from your heart to connect all the way up to the heavens. Oh yes, the wind is joining our ceremony. Breathe in that infinite possibility of the heavens and feel how the earth and heaven energy are blending into your unique heart energy. Feeling that heart energy spreading out in all directions, connecting with all life. Feeling it blanketing you in love.
Surrounded right now by from pillows and from this nature all around us. It's very moving, and I'm being guided to bring forth some light codes of healing for everybody here and for anybody that will be watching. Let's do that.
Thank you to the beings of light that have surrounded us, the spirits of the land, the water, the wind, the sun, the clouds, the birds, the mountain, the lake. It's all over. Yes. Thank you for your presence, whether you're watching us live or on the replay. Your energy is so valued and appreciated. Oh, thank you for that beautiful transmission. Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you for guiding this. It was beautiful.
Yay. Love, light, blessings to all until we meet again.